Hi, everybody. It's Chris in our North Conway studios, and we're about to talk with Deb Weinstein, who joins us from Starting Point, one of our great nonprofits here in the Mount Washington Valley, serving us all for a great cause. Deb, let's talk a little bit about Starting Point. What is this organization all about?
Well, this organization helps and provides an assortment of services to victims and survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault. We have a 24-hour hotline, which anybody can call, and that's at 1-800-336-3795. We also are able to talk to people between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. on a chat, which can be found on resourceconnect.com/SP/chat, or you can go to our website, which is startingpointnh.org, and that also will connect you with the services. We have the 24-hour hotline, and this is not just for local people. People who are visiting have often accessed our services. We provide emergency shelter to protect the family and children. We help with court restraining orders, and we provide both in-person and over Zoom in advocacy. And we also provide a prevention program in the schools, and we have a prevention educator that works throughout all the schools in Carroll County to work with the children to prevent violence and to be an active listener and to be somebody who stands up against violence. So it's both social justice, but it's also very, very targeted towards direct services.
Right. I was surprised. We were talking off air before this interview about how you do have people who are visiting the White Mountains using your services. And I guess it kind of surprised me, but I guess domestic violence doesn't take a vacation. It's a problem and travels with people as well. So it's great to know that you're a resource out there for everybody in this community.
Absolutely. And we're free, so nobody has to worry about paying any services. We're funded through various state, federal, and private donations. And those are all very important to us to provide the services. There's not a huge screening process or paper process. You just need to pick up the phone and call, and we're here.
All right. If someone wants that phone number, what is it? What number should they call?
It is 1-800-336-3795.
All right. Let's talk quickly about how the needs and how you are able to fulfill your mission has changed a little bit this summer, in the summer of COVID. Everybody is dealing with this. How have the needs of our community changed, and how are you responding?
Well, that's a really good question. I mean, first of all, we're a crisis center, so we're used to having crises and dealing with them. So this was, to us, a just different kind of crisis that we dealt with when COVID struck. We became more dependent on using various platforms that are secure, including the Resource Connect, including Zoom, doing things over the phone. Now that COVID is we've decreased our protection a little bit, we are starting to meet people in person. We're going back to the offices in small groups and rotating with safety precautions. And we are starting direct services. We never stopped. Direct services were not necessarily in person, but now they are. And the good thing about COVID, there's nothing good about COVID, but the thing that came out of COVID is that we were able to be creative in the way that we provide services, and those are going to stay with us, like the Resource Connect or talking to somebody over Zoom, because some people have more accessibility. That's rural. It's hard to reach out to us. The phones, we are now stocked with mobile phones, each one of us, so that we can speak with people and connect with people in an easier way. So we've really, really concentrated on how to connect. Domestic violence, although the number of calls decreased during those couple of months that things were really heightened, the level of severity of the situations was very, very high, very lethal. And we ended up providing over 2,000 bed nights just in 3 months for people, whether it be in the shelter, in safe houses. We provided those services to them and support services around that so that they could be safe.
Are you seeing, what you're saying, that the amount of domestic violence and other conflicts, are they increasing because of the response to the pandemic? Everybody kind of sheltering in place and more home time and anxiety all around?
For the first couple of months, it's quieted down in terms of the calls, but the calls we got needed a lot of services and very quickly because they were in lethal situations. They had to like escape and hide. Then since things are opening up again, we're starting to see a large increase in numbers because people are now coming out of their homes. They can report. When they're locked in their homes, the scariest thing is they can't report. And this goes for children as well. You know, we don't have people who are checking the children. They're not going to school. They're not going to camp. So things are not being noticed, and child abuse is not being reported as well. So it's really something that we have to pay a lot of attention to. When we isolate, things get worse. And of course, alcoholism, drug abuse, unemployment, that all leads to an increase in domestic violence and sexual assault.
All right. We're talking with Deb Weinstein, Executive Director of Starting Point, who is helping to keep our community safe and healthy in many ways. Deb, what can people do? We have a great community of locals and visitors, either part-time or even occasional visitors. What can they do to help Starting Point with your increased needs right now?
That's a great question. We really rely on volunteers. We currently have 20 to 30 active volunteers who do everything from landscaping on our premises to a community garden, to answering the crisis line, taking a shift. Maybe it's during the day or in the evening, and we train for that. There is a 30-hour training plus support, always having backup. And there's a volunteer training coming up in a couple of weeks. So check out our website. We're looking for people, and the training is via Zoom. So it's very, very convenient. You don't have to leave your house, and you can be trained and then kind of decide what you're interested in doing. We have people who do crafts with the kids, who babysit when somebody needs a babysitter for a couple of hours because they have to go to an appointment. It's really a huge range of needs that we have. And then, of course, we always need money. We really rely on private donations, and we weren't able to have our Boots and Bling this year, which is a big fundraiser, but big. And so we've lost about $60,000 from that. So we're really trying to make that up in various ways. So keep in touch, maybe join one of our virtual races that we advertise on the website or we advertise on Facebook. Be a friend to the Facebook page so you get to know what's going on with us. We're out there and we're helping everyone.
All right, Deb Weinstein, Executive Director of Starting Point. Thank you so much for joining us. If people, again, want to reach out to you either to help support Starting Point or if you find yourself a victim of domestic abuse or violence, how do they get in touch with you?
So they dial 1-800-336-3795, and that's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, including holidays. We do not shut down. And then if they're interested in finding out, you can find out more about us at startingpointnh.org, or you can contact us with resourceconnect.com/SP/chat. If you actually go on our website, you can click on it and you're immediately on Resource Connect, so that's an easier way to even actually get there.
All right, Deb, thank you so much for joining us today and for doing what you do to help keep our community healthy. And we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for having us. Take care.
Thank you. You're watching White Mountains TV.